Hello, my name is Nathan Bogdovics, and I'm here to show you electrochemistry. What electrochemistry is the study of electrons and how they flow throughout a system. My system that I'll be showing today is called an electric arc furnace. This system inputs 240 volts AC, which stands for alternating current, and it outputs 240 volts DC, which is direct current. The flow of electrons through the system is very high, so there's a very high shock hazard, which is why you always need to wear safety equipment such as insulated gloves and eye protection, because there's going to be very bright lights and could potentially blind you. Eye protection is a must when dealing with this dangerous procedure, so that's why I brought along my sunglasses. These sunglasses aren't really used for the sun because it's dark outside, so they actually protect me from the very dangerous and blinding arcs of electricity that are going between the two electrodes. What is produced between these electrodes is plasma, which is the fourth state of matter after gas. And this reaction, it produces temperatures upwards of 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very high and very dangerous. So when you're working with electricity, you always have to be very careful, and it always poses a shock hazard no matter what. Dealing with electricity can be very scary and intimidating to first-timers. I, on the other hand, know how to deal with electricity and keep myself and others safe. That's why I wear the insulated gloves and the eye protection, because posing even the slightest hazard to myself or anyone else, that's unacceptable, and I try to avoid it at all costs. So that's why I keep my work area clean of any shock hazards, any fire hazards, anything like that, and I always keep a fire extinguisher on hand. So on that note, I will show you a little bit of how my arc furnace works and show you me melting down an aluminum can. So this is where the electric arc furnace starts. These two transformers down here convert the 240 volts of alternating current to the 240 volts of direct current that lead over there to the two electrode holders that are within my fire brick, which contains the reaction. Right there is where I keep the extra carbon rods, because the carbon rods are what sparks the arc in the arc furnace, and after those get hot they actually start to crumble and melt away. So I also have extras. I pulled the carbon rods out of dry cell lantern batteries, so that's where I got them from. And over there I have the 240 volt plug that plugs into a plug behind me, which sends 240 volts to the transformers, which then gets turned into direct current and is heated up between those and produces plasma, which gets very, very hot. As you can see, the two electrode holders are actually two stinger grips that are attached to these two carbon rods. These two carbon rods are actually used already, and they've lost most of their conductive properties. There's actually two carbon rods on these already. If I pull these out, if I can, see they're attached to this wire, which leads straight from the transformer. And these carbon rods, when put into proximity through these two holes in the fire brick, they spark a blinding and dangerous electric arc that is very, very hot.
Okay.
So just to give you a little heads up, the aluminum can that I used is actually a Mountain Dew Baja Blast, and that's very noticeably not Mountain Dew Baja Blast. You don't actually know what that is anymore. It's become hard and flaky, and with a little tapping, it comes out as chunks and flakes. They're very crumbly in my hand, and it feels kind of like an aluminum can, but it's very flaky and crumbly, and that's what an electric arc furnace does. It melts it down until it's very unnoticeable anymore, and it turns it into something else, which is, it's still aluminum, but it's melted, crumbly, disgusting aluminum. Believe it or not, you can actually pour the molten aluminum, if it was still molten, into muffin pans, and you can cast aluminum, tin, steel, iron muffins, and it's pretty cool because they'll have a very smooth surface, and they'll be very solid and very dense, and it's something cool to have, and to just say, wow, this is solid aluminum and I made this myself. So doing these fun projects at home, even though it took me countless hours of frustration trying to wire these things together, these things have made me more mad than I've gotten over the whole school year. And it's, I mean, in the end, it pays off. And go do projects like this and see how much fun you have. So that about wraps up my presentation on electrochemistry and my electric arc furnace. I hope you guys were intrigued and as happy to see this thing run as I was. I know that after 4 weeks, it's been a struggle, but it has definitely paid off in the end. You should have seen my face after we first got it running. And me and my dad have worked on this thing since I got assigned this project, and it's been really hard, but it's also been really fun getting to bond more with my dad, and it's always just a fun project to do and just have fun with. And it's the end of the year, go have fun. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed. I know I definitely enjoyed, and hope to see you guys in the future.